Prime Minister Carney returns to Ottawa today without any deals to remove U.S. tariffs from Canadian goods, but he is leaving two of his key ministers behind to keep pressing Canada's case. Carney met with U.S. President Donald Trump in the Oval Office Tuesday afternoon, the second such meeting between the two leaders in less than 6 months. Trump told reporters ahead of that meeting that Carney was going to walk away very happy, but showed no signs of relenting on tariffs, and no deal was announced. Joining us now from the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce is Chuck Davidson. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thank you for joining us. Now, you're in Toronto and you are there for an AGM. And what were businesses hoping to see come from yesterday's meeting between Carney and Trump?
Well, I think what businesses have been looking for is some sort of solution to the problems that we have. And this has been ongoing. We've talked about there was sort of a deadline of early August, and we're 2 months past that already. So, I think there's a sense that, are we going to find some solutions to this? I think based on the feedback that I've been having with conversations with business leaders here in Toronto, is that there is a little bit of sense of optimism that things are moving in a direction that we might hopefully be moving towards a resolution. And I think that's something that's important, specifically in Ontario, where I am right now. Obviously, the auto industry is significantly impacted by that. The auto industry, steel, aluminum manufacturing. And so these are some of the industries that you're really feeling the hurt in this part of Canada. Not so much as negatively in Manitoba, but at the same time, that level of uncertainty that we've had for the past 10 months continues to be problematic. And the sooner we can find a solution to this situation, the better it's going to be for everyone.
The tone seemed to have changed, though, for the U.S. president. Trump lavished public praise on Carney, calling him a good leader. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that they seem to have publicly that they're having that kind of relationship. We've kind of gone through this in the past as well, though. So until there's something that's written in stone, it's not going to be something that we're going to put a whole lot of sort of creed into. So, and I think the bigger thing to think about, Rochelle, as well, is that even if we get a deal and things get back to normal somewhat, the reality is we're also under a review of CUSMA anyways. And so right now, both in Canada and the U.S., there's a very open, transparent process to provide comments on CUSMA up until November. So we're entering into another agreement to determine, are we going to continue this relationship moving forward over the course of the next number of years? And so this issue is not going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah, and Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc told reporters at a press conference following the meeting that substantial progress was made, and there's now momentum to make deals that wasn't there before Tuesday. What are businesses saying about that?
Well, I think that's why there's a bit of a sense of optimism that we are heading into a path. Are we going to get to a situation where there are zero tariffs? I think they're looking to make some sort of a deal that's going to be beneficial, obviously, for both Canada and the United States. And I think that's what we've always intended to do. And, we've also made the comment in the past as well. It wasn't necessarily about getting the deal as quick as possible. It was about getting the best deal for Canada. So our hope is that we're moving more towards getting that great deal for Canada and the U.S. We can continue to have that long-standing relationship that we've always had that's been beneficial to both businesses, to workers, and to governments on both sides of the border.
In the meantime, though, provinces, our country, we've been taking steps to sort of be a little bit more independent from the U.S. What are businesses saying about that? Are they seeing some benefits to those changes?
Yeah, we're still seeing that we need to continue to focus on those interprovincial trade barriers. Needs to be something that we've talked about repeatedly over the course of the last number of months as well. That's something that needs to continue. We also need to make sure that we're looking at potential other export markets. Those are things that we've seen different programs coming out from both the provincial and federal government to help support businesses as they kind of go down that path. I think at the end of the day, I think the reality is that we're becoming a little bit less reliant on the United States so that we don't kind of go through this situation again, and that we do have trade relationships with countries and jurisdictions around the world that we haven't utilized as much as we should. And now I think is the time that we can diversify a little bit more and pivot for a lot of businesses.
Chuck, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it. Have a good trip in Toronto.
Thanks, Rochelle.